Welcome back to Lightning GIS. In this tutorial we're going to take a quick look at how to use the Identify tool. For this example we'll be using the Identify tool to identify the flow accumulation threshold from a flow accumulation raster in the Garvin Brook watershed. So here I've got a base map, an aerial photo base map with the watershed outline indicated. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. The red line here shows my Garvin Brook 3 meter DEM filled flow accumulation raster. The red is greater than 100 cells of flow accumulation, and the orange is 10,000 cells. These are just the initial values that I've used to sort of calibrate my eye to how much flow accumulation we have. But what you see here, and it's useful to turn this off and on. I'm going to turn the flow accumulation raster off. Clearly there's water here. We've got dark water. The dark tone shows that there's water in the channel here, and as we go around it looks like there's water up through here. In this area, if I zoom in a little bit, it gets hard to tell. There's sort of that dark line through there, so it feels like there's probably water. This is why it's important to look at a lot of different places in the watershed, not just one place to pick your flow accumulation, because there really is some judgment and interpretation that's involved. It's hard to tell, like right through here, this could just be a shadow along the bank, or it could be the water. This is probably a deep gully up in here, and so what we may be seeing in the bottom of that is just a shadow. But it's pretty clear that there's water right here. Now there looks to be another draw here, but I don't see any water in there. Another draw here, it doesn't seem to be any water. I'll turn these back on, and what I've looked at, and I inspected this more carefully before I started the video just to keep this quick. I don't see any water in this branch that goes off to the east, and this branch is the shadow in the deeper ravine. There may or may not be water up here, but the stream bed looks pretty dry, so I'm going to guess that right in here is about as far upstream as I can find flow accumulation. So now we can use the Identify tool, which is up here on my toolbar. Click on that. That activates the tool. And then you need to point pretty carefully. You want to make sure if you point here, it's going to give you a value for your flow accumulation, and it's 76. Clearly 76 is out here. There's no real flow accumulation up here on this bluff side. But if we click on the orange line, we know we should have a value that's somewhere between 10 and 100,000. It's 17,800. If we click on this red line where we think there's water, 234,400. 234,376. So 234,000 is probably a reasonable value for where we think our flow accumulation starting up here. So that's how you use the Identify tool. What you want to do for the flow accumulation is pan around through the watershed and do the same thing and come up with a number of values. I recommend at least 10 spots, maybe more, until you see a definite pattern and a definite range. You may have some outliers there. There are things like springs that come in from small tributaries and stuff like that. So that's why it's important to look at a lot and get a good feel for what the actual range is. Okay, I hope that helps. Thank you for joining me for another Lightning GIS.
We'll be right back.